So you've got a hamstring niggle, annoying, or yoga butt, or an annoying little pain when you start to do a forward fold. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. So, hamstring niggle, what to do? Well, the first instruction is the obvious one. Don't pull your thighs back and come forward. That puts pressure on the hamstring, and it's such an obvious fix really. I really can't emphasize enough, the hamstring niggle isn't a difficult thing to get out of. On the other hand, it does take time and rest. If you've aggravated your hamstring, you do need to rest a little bit. You do need, unfortunately it's an injury that does take a number of months, maybe up to 6 months to heal. So give it a rest. That doesn't mean you do nothing, it just means that you need to be careful. So also it doesn't mean that you start folding forward with bent legs. That will never really rectify the issue. If you need to do something and you find you're aggravated folding forward, put a little block underneath your bum, and that will allow you the pelvic tilt to fold forward. Now, what I wanted to come back to, and the key tip in the video, is instead of pulling back on your thighs and pulling back on your feet and starting to come forward, you want to reach the toes. As if you're kicking someone with the ball of the big toes. You're reaching through the legs, and once you've reached through the legs, really if you come forward now, because you've stretched to the front of your legs, you can't really hurt the hamstring because you're not pulling back on the hamstrings, right? You're reaching through the foot. So it's the reach of the leg that really makes all the difference. Imagine you're kicking a wall, as I said, or you can even put your foot against the wall and push. And it feels like you're kind of rolling the legs in like ropes, rolling the legs in like twines of a rope. So you've got this kind of inward rotation. That said, you want to keep the hip bones pinned. So instead of pulling the hips forward, imagine someone's got their thumbs or their hand on your hip bones, they keep them back. They're holding your hips back. You're pushing the balls of the big toes forward, and now you have to lift up, keeping the hips pinned, come over. So it's less of a forward fold than you're doing perhaps, or you've done before, right? Because you're keeping the tailbone tucked back, rather than doing this, pulling the bum cheeks back, pulling the thighs back and come forward, which will inevitably hurt your bum, hurt that attachment of the hamstring where the bum is, or hurt the hamstring itself. So reaching the toes, keeping the tailbone tucked, pinning the hips back, coming over, and you're really not coming as forward as much, half as much as before, and you're reaching the toes to stop the pulling of the hamstrings, and then you're pulling back, right? So reach the legs, keep the tailbone tucked, don't pull the bum cheeks back, use a block if you need to, if you've already hurt the hamstrings, instead of bending the legs and coming forward, in which case you'll never really rectify the problem, right? And give it time. Give it time and modify where you need, right? The hamstring injury does take a little bit of time, and at certain times you have to pull back. Don't try and push through pain, it never works. Just pull back and wait. Wait and be patient, and you will, and apply the information that I've said, I've shown you today, and you will overcome the hamstring injury. It's not a difficult thing to overcome, but it does take a little bit of perseverance, a little bit of thought, and then a little bit of time. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you again soon.
These aren't as good as any of the